Mojang has added auto-crafters to Minecraft 1.21, and they're insanely useful, not just for advanced users, but for everyday Minecrafters, and I'll prove it to you. I'll be showing you how to get the most use out of the auto-crafter in your Minecraft world, how to understand them, how to build various designs like auto-shulker crafters, firework crafters, block compactors for farms, and even universal auto-crafters that can craft almost every single item in Minecraft. Everything in today's video is for Minecraft Bedrock and Java Edition. I have 11 different proven reliable auto-crafter designs that I'll be showing you in today's video, but you really only need a couple of them to get the most out of the auto-crafter. The auto-crafter is such a new block that everyone still has a lot of stuff to learn about it. If you don't know anything about the basic functionality of the crafter, check out my previous video. That'll tell you everything that you need to know. This video is all about putting the auto-crafter to work. So we're going to take a couple minutes to learn about the methodology of how you can auto-craft with it and a bit of terminology. If you are a mega big brain, then you can skip to this part of the video for some tutorials and other designs. I've done a lot of work with the auto-crafter, and I've discovered at least 3 main ways to use it for auto-crafting. The simplest way to auto-craft, and probably what most people end up designing first, is just having an empty auto-crafter that you're reading the output from. Then you activate some droppers or hoppers, and those feed the items in there. Then you can take the output from the crafter to power it, and just repeat that process. This is possibly the worst way of doing things, because it's also the first way that we all thought of doing it. Pretty much everyone has designed a system similar to this, and this is pretty much like the ultimate version of that, so we can get our items filling in the correct order. And then, as you can see, this is an automatic beacon crafter. This system right here can craft any item in Minecraft, but it takes 5 seconds per craft, and it's also massive, huge, expensive. This kind of system gets huge because you also want item filters on every slice and a chest minecart to evenly distribute items, and it's just massive. I didn't even mention hopper randomness. It's bad on Java, but it's way worse on Bedrock. And if you want to get around random hoppers, then you need a system like this, which does actually work, but it's massively more expensive. And don't get me wrong, I was so hyped when I got this thing finally designed and working, and then I was immediately disappointed because I found better ways of doing it. The second method, which is all around better in every way, is the stockpile method, where we have at least 1 item left over in every slot of the crafter. This allows us to stockpile items on the sides and just feed them in with hoppers. This allows you to craft much faster and spam the thing as well. If we take this concept right here and combine it with the stockpile method, our machine gets way smaller and way cheaper, and it's also literally twice as fast. But since we're using the stockpile method, we can completely abandon this entire concept. Keep in mind that if you have recipes that require non-stackable items, like the dispenser recipe, you can combine that with the restock method, but you'll need a specialty machine for that. Method number 3 is a logical expansion on the restock method. So now we're going to be reading from the hoppers in our system, which is going to act as an automatic shut off when we run out of items and an automatic restart when we restock items. We can easily turn this into a fully automatic universal item crafter for almost any item in the game. Right now it's a 2 item type crafter, but it can be upgraded to a 3 item type crafter. Right now it's stocked up on gunpowder, but it's out of paper. So if we put any amount of paper into this system, it's going to start auto crafting, as you can see there, but now it's out of paper again. So if we properly restock that, it'll just keep on going. Of course, we can upgrade and expand this system in multiple different ways, but I think you get the concept. This is basically the best style of auto crafting for all of your casual needs. Unless you're like an advanced Minecraft user, you're probably not going to need anything more. Now that we can auto craft, we kind of need to make up some lingo for all the different types of recipes in Minecraft. So there's 1 item type recipes like iron helmets that only use a single type of ingredient. As you can see, it's all iron. And then a 2 type recipe is something like iron swords that use sticks and iron. That's 2 unique ingredients. And a 3 type recipe would be something like the repeater, where you got torches, redstone, and stone. So whenever I say a 1 type recipe, I'm referring to something that only uses 1 type of item. There's also different slot counts required for recipes. So a 1 slot recipe is the minimum. It just takes a single type of item or 1 slot of the crafting grid. A 2 slot recipe, of course, requires 2 slots, and 9 slots is the entire thing. So keep that in mind. Slots and types are things that we're going to be hearing a lot of when it comes to different crafting recipes. Fun fact, almost every single recipe in Minecraft is less than a 3 type recipe. So if you have a 3 type universal auto crafter, which I'll be showing you how to build later, you can craft almost every single thing in Minecraft. There's only a few things that are a 4 type recipe. Pistons, the crafter itself, and cake are all 4 type recipes with 4 unique items each. And as far as I know, the rabbit stew is the most complicated recipe in Minecraft with 5 unique items. use. And with all that out of the way, let's take a look at some designs. This is by far the simplest dispenser crafter in Minecraft for Bedrock or Java. Literally just a crafter on the bottom facing upwards with your bow materials, and then another one on the top there with your dispenser materials. And then you just keep on spamming that, and it literally just shoots out non-stop dispensers. It is amazing. Of course, you gotta like restock this with materials, but this alone will save you so much time. And of course, you could put a simple observer clock on this as well. It's the exact same setup, and this will never craft a single dropper for you. But of course, it's limited to 64 dispensers at once. If these puny contraptions aren't good enough for you, I have a fully automatic dispenser crafter. You just put the materials in there, it automatically crafts the bows, and then automatically crafts the dispensers for you. I'm actually pretty happy with how this thing turned out because it's not as complicated as it might seem. The redstone is actually really simple, although it could be quite a bit more compact. I came up with this 4-to-1 pulsing system, so every time that you craft one bow, we're dropping 4 cobblestone into the crafter, and of course we have 2 cobblestone droppers. So that's enough to keep it stocked up with all the resources, that way it doesn't run out. This is my favorite crafter by far. It's an instant shulker box maker that is just a one-touch system, so whenever you want a shulker, you just flick it, and you can really spam this thing. Like, it really goes ham with these shulker boxes. Now, of course, you can get some extra storage on the sides for your chests, and you can put some shulker shells in the sides. Either way, it's literally 1 redstone dust and an observer facing a trapdoor. For Java, you just need more than 1 item per slot, then it'll be reliable. And yes, you can just put a button on the front of it, but that's not nearly as fast or as fun. It does look like a little nose, though. Getting into more advanced designs, this is something that you can put on any of your farms to compact down your resources. So this is a 1 item type, any slot count crafter. So for example, you could put this on your iron farm to turn all of your ingots into blocks for you, or your flour farm to turn flour into dyes. Now, this is incredibly easy to build. You can build it just by looking at it. This is a very simple but very quick 1 slot crafter, so this is perfect for your flour farms where you want to turn all of your flours into dyes automatically. If this is too large, here's it in 1 wide form. So this is again great for your flour farms, turning your flours into dyes, but it's also good for turning your bone blocks into bone meal, which is great for so many different farms. If this design is too slow for you, then we can put that on an observer clock, which is incredibly fast, but again, it's still just a 1 slot crafter. By the way, bones to bone meal is a 1 slot recipe, so all of these are great for that. Hook that up to your mob farm, and then you can take your bone meal output and put it into this guy right here, and then bam, you're automatically crafting bone blocks. And the final 1 type crafters that we have is this 1 wide tileable slice right here, and this is pretty much an any slot crafter. However, there are some bugs with this that make it so that it's slightly not reliable. However, you can put them right next to each other for gold block crafting, stone brick crafting, iron blocks, whatever you want to do. It's pretty nice, pretty reliable. You can even hook that up to your item filters directly, which is very convenient. Now, the bug makes it so that these things are double pulsing when they shouldn't, so occasionally you'll get a 2 slot recipe when you're trying to get a 9 slot recipe, for example. So the bug is really easy to understand. When it reaches 9 signal strength, it crafts the block, for example, but then as soon as you put another item in there, it crafts again, which it should not do. Here's the bug report number on screen, and please go upvote this on the bug tracker after you're done with the video, and it kind of breaks this super simple little design right here. Now it's time for the amazingly useful universal auto crafter that can make basically any item in Minecraft. This uses method number 3 of auto crafting, and we have a design for 2 type crafting recipes and 3 type recipes as well. Now these are any slot crafters, meaning that they can craft from 1 up to 9 slot recipes. And this original design is from Kairu. You can check out their full video linked in the description, but we've been working on this a little bit to bring you designs for 2 type and 3 type. These auto crafters can make literally any item in Minecraft as long as it has 3 item types or less and does not use non-stackable items in its recipe. So that means that you can make anything from bricks to fireworks, pumpkin pie, sea lanterns, and TNT. If you can think about it and you can craft it, you can probably automate it using one of these 2 designs. A couple features of this design: it has an automatic starting feature so that it will start crafting as soon as it has the materials needed. It'll also stop crafting once it runs out of materials. We have an overflow safety, meaning that it will stop crafting once it has filled up its storage. That way it doesn't waste items. It is also tileable, meaning that you can build these things right next to each other and they will not break each other. That means that you can also fill up these chests directly using item filters. Now, because Bedrock Edition has some different mechanics, we're able to make the 2-type and 3-type crafters a little bit smaller and cheaper on Bedrock Edition. So this is the Bedrock 2-type, and this is the Java 2-type crafter. As you can see, it's a little bit larger, but not really that big of a deal. This is the Bedrock Edition 3-type auto crafter, and as you can see, it's actually nice and clean. It is pretty solid design there. However, if you want to build it on Java Edition, you'll need this style of redstone, which is more messy and more chaotic. The reason why there's any difference between the two is because Java has a weird redstone mechanic that doesn't happen on Bedrock Edition. So whenever a comparator is powering a redstone like this, it's obviously going to power this block, which powers the lamp. And then if we put another redstone right there, it continues to power the lamp because it's still pointing into the block, as you can see there. That happens on Bedrock and Java. However, on Bedrock Edition, when you redirect this redstone to the side, that no longer gets powered. But as you can see, that doesn't happen on Java Edition, so we can't actually step up our redstone like this. So even though the redstone on this particular design is a bit ugly on Java Edition, the general concept is still rock solid, and honestly, the 2-wide crafter is basically identical to Bedrock Edition. That little mechanic on Java only adds 1 additional block to the length of it, so not too bad overall for a very solid universal item crafter for 2-type recipes. Now that the design is out there, I'm sure people are going to find ways to compact this stuff down and make it even smaller and more efficient. And if you feel like building this in your Minecraft world or anything from this video, there's more than enough footage here for you to dissect these things. They're pretty simple designs. Thanks for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this mega tutorial, then of course drop a like and share it around so that other people can enjoy the video too. And if you're new here, then subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys down in the comments and in the next one.